morning, everybody. Welcome to the Gifting Lounge. Today, we are back here with another episode where we are going to discuss what are the trends which are in gifting. And yes, let me tell you that personalization, or whatever you call it, is the biggest trend in 2025. How, when, where, why we do it. We just find different methods. So, this acts as a USP even for the people who are into the gifting business. As the owner of Sew a Gift, which is a fabric based company, let me tell you that when we give personalized gifts to people, it has definitely a bigger impact and people retain that for much longer. And today, my guests here, and three of them, they are all into the business of gifting. And I'm just going to welcome them right now. Good morning, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. And let me start quickly with Snigdha. Hello, Snigdha, founder of Gift Ninjaaz, Val, founder of VJ Photo Art, and Jeevan, founder of Scotchy's Candles. So while Scotchy's Candles and photo art is pretty obvious in what they are doing, let's start with Snigdha. Snigdha, Gift Ninjaaz. I love the name Ninjas, by the way. Tell us a
Thank
little
you.
bit about your business. What do you actually do? And also why the name Gift Ninjaaz?
Okay, so Gift Ninja was born during the COVID period. So, what started as a hobby, slowly it turned into a passion, and therefore I had to upscale it and bring it to a business project. So, now I'm working on upscaling the business. And as for the name Gift Ninjas, like ninjas are very specialized people who are very skilled in what they do. So, we as a gifting company are very specialized in our gifts. That's how the name comes in.
Wonderful, wonderful. So nice. And sorry, how much ever you tell me, I have to call you Dr. Val because you are Dr. Val. Good morning, Dr. Valerie. How are you doing? And founder of VJ Photo Art. It was such a happy coincidence when I saw you in the Arte market. And I'm so honored and privileged that you decided to come and be a part of our gifting lounge. Tell us a little bit about how has your journey been 10 years now?
Right. Thank you very much, Dr. Shambhavi. And I'm very delighted to be part of the Gifting Lounge this morning. And yes, it was a happy coincidence from some 10 years previously when we first crossed paths in the academic world. So yes, my profession is as an academic. But why did I get into the gifting world? My real passion as a hobby has always been photography. And in fact, I've done it seriously probably for around the last 10 years. And I particularly like nature photography, wildlife, scenery, birds, especially. I enjoy photographing birds. And I continue to pursue that with a great passion. However, like many photographers, we have a lot of photographs that we don't know what to do with. And so I was also developing an interest in crafts and put the two together and now have come up with VJ Photo Art, which essentially is a collection of stylized images from my original work, which I'm now making in terms of cards, three-dimensional cards, as you've probably seen from the video clip, and also now making coasters, tote bags, and in fact, it's a technique that can be applied to anything. And yes, I think there's also a lot of opportunity to customize, as Dr. Shambhavi mentioned. It is the thing. And that's something I'll be pursuing later. My main outlet right now is on my webpage, my e-commerce site, and also mostly the arty events at Mercato and Times Square Center.
Wonderful. And I'm going to come back to this photography and what to do with the photographs in a bit because I have definitely something to share with you. However, let's just talk a little bit to Jeevan. Jeevan, Scotchies, candles. I know the story, but tell it to our audience, please.
All right, Scotchy Candles was born because of the love that we have for our dog. His name is Scotch. When he was 1 year old, he started to have breathing issues. And when we took him to the vet, we found out one of the reasons that he started to have this was because of the use of commercial candles that we have at home. So we did a bit of research and we found out that all these commercially produced candles, incense sticks, aromas, essential oils, dupes, everything, they contain chemicals which are actually harmful for pets and for yourself too. Long use of this can actually cause asthma. So from that day, we started this as a pet project of doing it for ourselves to create candles just for the well-being of our little furry baby, Scotch. What led forward was our friends came, they liked it, then they started to spread the word to their friends, and there came a stage where we started to get orders for about 100, 200. Now, doing being in the corporate world where you work 9 to 6 and balancing that with your passion was getting hard for us. So, after 21 years of working in the corporate world, leading teams, I had to take one of the biggest decisions of my life, and that was to leave the 9 to 6 lifestyle and get into the world of the unknown, starting a business. So, passion project turning into a small business is the way forward, is something that I'm seeing every single day. And the path is just coming by itself. And it's simply through word of mouth. That's all I can say.
Wonderful, amazing. And as you said, working on your passion, this is such an amazing thing because I think everyone becomes an entrepreneur because they want to follow their passion. And I can't tell you the number of times I've heard this about with pets and, the candle smells and things. And we don't, like, for example, tea tree oil, I believe, is very harmful to them, whereas
It is.
humans, we enjoy tea tree oil. So I didn't know it till I read somewhere, though I wasn't much of a candle person. But you're in good business, I'll tell you what, because the figures say that there is a growth rate of 8.23% on the candle industry in the US alone, and they're looking at 7 billion in 2025 in US dollars. So it's a good business to be in right now. So all the best. And yes, I'm going to come back to you more about this. Snigdha, though we understand you started your business and you are passionate about it, and I love the Ninjaaz name. Tell me a little bit more about how does a customer approach you, and then what's a customer journey look like?
See, although people know what they want to gift, they either find it's very difficult to locate it in the market, or the process is very tedious and time consuming. So this is where Gift Ninja steps in. We take the customer requirements and then we turn them into personalized, curated gifts. So if you have an idea in mind and you don't know where to go, you can just throw the idea to us. We will think of what we can do with that idea and give you options which you can choose from. So it's like you're informed at every stage of the process. You get to choose what you want to do. We'll give you three, four ideas which you can choose from and what looks good. So this is how we work.
But amazing. Dr. Val, with a camera in hand, everybody's turned into a photographer. Tell me how does that work? And I mean, I think going into entrepreneurship in a little mature age, kind of brings you a little bit more stability, I suppose, than what happens in a younger age. So how do you find your balance, and how do you find, I know you said you love nature photography. How did that happen to you actually, first of all?
Yeah, very, very interesting, and yeah, so a lot to the question. I think coming back to the photography, I've always my home country is New Zealand, which is very outdoors, and we're imbued in nature all the time, and I think that love of nature just really grew with me from there. The photography, I think, just came naturally. I just wanted to do something. I think I probably have a little bit of a artistic stream in in my makeup. So it's interesting, actually, that everybody has a camera in hand now with our cell phones, everything, and I think it is it's something that is either an art or it's something functional. And I think there are probably few of us still remaining there who see it, really as an art form. And there's still a very important community that will continue, I think, always to maintain art as a photography as an art. And certainly there are many, many more opportunities to develop photography in that way. It's interesting. I still pursue the photography, and I have a lot of interest in the photography on its own, in the markets as well as the stylized version. So once the people who are interested there appreciate that actually the stylized art, the card or the coaster, hey, that's interesting, that looks pretty. And then when I explain the backstory, well, actually, if you just look behind, there's a photograph there where this originated from, and the photograph's got a story. And so it becomes a really interesting dialogue. And so when they buy the card or the coaster, they understand that actually this has got some real meaning here, and I know the story. So I think it's very, very important to accompany everything we do in gifting. And of course, if they gift that, of course, they can pass the story on, and it makes the whole process much more interesting and in that way personalized. So I think
Well,
that's
that sounds so amazing, and it is not a coincidence; it's a sheer serendipity that I'm actually doing a course, a fellowship in Global Art and Medicine Fellowship. Now, this is neither I'm an artist nor I'm a medicine doctor, but this actually gives an opportunity. And yesterday, the serendipity part is that I was attending a session held by a person who's a photographer, and how they give these photographs and help for healing. And in fact, maybe later I'll share a link with you where you can share your photographs with places where they put it in the hospital and people can access these photographs. So I brought us all onto a common platform so that everybody could hear, anyone in the audience who's hearing this, who's a photographer, who has some good nature photographs and things like that, which they want to share, they can do that. And that is what the fellowship is teaching me about, which I would have never known otherwise. I also enjoy photography, but I would have never known that I can share it at a different place. So this whole session of Global Art and Medicine Fellowship has been is still continuing, is really a revelation for many things. And we can find art everywhere, like you said, Dr. Val, that you found it. There's a little bit of an artist in you. I think there's a little bit of artist in everyone. And I'm going to bring Snigdha back to answer this. So when you are looking at kind of curating and you wrapping and designing, what are you seeking actually, and what is your customer seeking? How do you know that that you are on the same wavelength?
See, if you see our designs are very different compared to what you have in the market. They are not commercial. So I especially get most of my designs done. Like mostly I'm not a good artist, but I know what I want. So I'll sketch it on a paper and give it to my artist, and they curate it and make it into a beautiful design. Then there's a lot of customization going on. In addition to that, I do purchase designs as well. So the quality of the product has to be really high because we are putting them on bottles, we are putting them on magnets and other stuff. So designing is a key part to my products.
Right. Jeevan, for you, this is the design and packaging part, which is so important. Tell us a little bit about that. How do you navigate that path?
As you correctly said, one thing that is some people are really interested in today's world is getting personalized gift. And how Dr. Val said, every photo has a different story. So everyone wants something unique when you give something to someone. It should be both meaningful and it should be something that is a keepsake. It's not something that you just give for namesake. So what we do when it comes to customization is we understand the needs of your client or your customer. What is it that exactly we want? When we pride ourselves as the region's first pet and human-friendly candles makers, we use organic soy wax from USA, and we use cold pressed oils instead of essential oils which contain chemicals. So that makes us different. Now, when people get to know about this, that it's first pet friendly candle in the region, that itself is a different touch because they've not heard of it because we are new in the market and it's only through word of mouth. Secondly, we work according to the budget of whoever the client is or whatever they have. If they say they wanted a certain kind of design, we give them options. We don't limit themselves saying that we can only do this at this rate. We give them the option because end of the day, what you're creating is an experience for them to remember, and what your work will speak to your audience. And the love and the passion that I mentioned earlier, it speaks through your work. So when we get an order, we make sure that every step of the journey is communicated with the client or the customer. We actually showcase, all right, this is the first step. When we get the sample jars that they want, they can choose from 100 different varieties of jars. Then they get to choose the color of what kind of design that they want. Then they can even choose the fragrance. We have about 120 safe fragrances that we have cold pressed and kept. So they can choose from that. They can mix and match whatever they want. And finally, they can even do toppings. So, what kind of toppings that you're looking out for? If it's an engagement, we can create molds, uh, molded candles with rings on top, or whatever they want. Even their photos can be designed on top. And the best part of it is when you personalize it. Personalization, a simplest trick which can bring a connection between two people is just by adding their name. When you add a name and you write a nice message related to them, that actually touches them more. And we've had people who have everything in the world that money can buy, but what they cannot buy is that small experience that they got in that 3 seconds of just reading that message.
I totally get that because our luggage tags, which we do in So Gift, is this either the initials or the name, and people are like, wow, this you had this done, and mostly, like I say, it is meaningful only to the person who's giving and the person who's receiving it, that they actually understand how much efforts went into it, and so this is something which is like personalizing is something the norm, and it shows the efforts more than the money part of it, and I will come to the money part of it, but why I just want to ask Val something about AI and the photo challenges which people are talking about. Please tell us a little bit about how are you, what do you think about it, not about how you're coping with it, because I know you do your own stuff, but I want to understand what kind, is that
Yeah.
really a threat, and the AI, and it looks so artificial to me, or am I too, old school?
Yeah, no, it's a very good question and so relevant now. It's part of our lives, whether we like it or not. But AI actually has been used. Let's think about photography, for example, for many, many, many years. If anybody uses Photoshop or Lightroom or any of the standard processing, even our cameras, even and especially our cell phones, process our photos using AI. And so it's always been there, and now it's become more prominent. It's become more usable for everybody, to try to create their own thing. Now, what do I think about it? I think there's some fantastic opportunities, and you see, I was at a demonstration recently where some amazing art had been created just with AI. I thought, wow, the colors, the blends, everything were amazing. And so it does give people the opportunity who have never had the chance really to try to be creative. And I think that's good. Provides lots of opportunity. But I think it's very important that we do distinguish ourselves and publicly, what is AI produced and where is the individual creativity coming from. Yeah, in my case, I appreciate, and I think it's essential for me to be able to see original creativity. I can, in fact, I have, tried following some craft YouTube that I've been watching, created my own AI images purely, not from my images, purely from an AI program. And it did nothing for me at all. It looked artificial. I knew it was artificial. And that personal, hey, that touches something inside, for me, even seeing other people's AI productions, that element is missing. So I think that the personal,
Yeah.
the individual component still has to be there in some way for me.
So I guess this is like home cooked food from a restaurant is never really home cooked. It's still going to be.
Exactly. Yeah, we get it from a machine, and it's the same ingredients, but a human hand didn't touch it.
Yeah, it is never going to be the same.
Yeah.
Let me ask you, all of you, some a little generic question. If there was somebody starting out new in your industry, let's say, somebody wants to come like Snigdha, they want to do these gifts, designs, curate them, or even start candle, or for photography business, converting them, not just photograph, but convert them into something usable. Then what are the challenges these people would face? What kind of advice would you tell them? What are the red alerts to watch out for? Can we start with you, Snigdha?
See, most of the people when it comes down, pricing is a very big thing. So you need to focus on your target audience. So if you know where your target audience is, because if I'm going to send something sustainable, I cannot go to an area where people don't value it. So you should know where your focus is and focus on the right target audience. And if the product is good, your services are good, everything will sell. And a lot of collaborations also happens. So since I'm into gifting, I do collaborate with a lot of people. So you can't do everything yourself. So as you grow together. So you need to collaborate and work on it together.
Right. Wonderful. Thank you. Great advice. How about you, Val? What would you suggest to people who are trying to enter into the business of
Yeah.
photography and trying to make a profession or whatever their main income stream? What would you recommend to them?
I think I'm still on the learning path myself, but I think what I'm definitely picking up and observing and experiencing is actually it's the need for visibility. It's the need to be making the right connections, build that collaborative approach, as we've just heard. It's finding your niche, being distinctive, and then showing everybody that you are distinctive and how. So I think that's really critical. Is just being active, getting out there. That we have to reach our audience, and we have to
Right.
show them why we're different and why they should
Showing
be
up.
interested in us.
Showing up makes all the difference, definitely. And I love the way you show up in the arte market. So people who want to meet Val, please do head out to the market. I don't know when she's there, but then she's definitely there usually. Tell me, Jeevan, what do you think are the barriers, and what kind of challenges? What do you think you should tell people? Listen, it's great business, but this is something to start with, where you need to watch out for this.
The challenges that you might face is initially you might have a good rush of orders, and there may be a phase of time where your orders may kind of drop down. But that shouldn't limit yourself. This is an opportunity for you to look at different avenues of what you may not have looked at in the past. For example, initially we started off as just candle making. From then we moved on to doing candle making workshops. Then we moved on to doing corporate team building activities for candle making, which was something that has never been done before, and people wanted something different. Then we started to do candle wax molds. So instead of using essential oils in your jars where you light it up for the aroma, you use candle waxes now to light it up. Then we moved on to creating customized candle molds, keychains, and every single day it's a learning process. So keep your mind open, and be ready to learn something new. And like how Dr. Val said, find your niche and be good at it. And how Snigdha had mentioned earlier, collaboration helps you a lot. So be ready to collaborate with people and learn from them. Every day is an opportunity for you to learn something new and find your niche, and show what you're passionate about through your work.
Can I add one more point?
Sure, please
Sure.
go ahead.
One of the key points everybody should focus on is networking and be visible. There are a lot of meetups happening. When you meet people, you get a lot of opportunities, you connect with the right people, and it's the key to grow your business.
Sure.
Wonderful. What you're saying is very true. And then, even if it is different networking, sometimes you find common ground, and then, and you work from there. You meet the same people. It endorses actually that you are doing, and you're doing consistently the same work that you say. So there's no threat in anybody's mind that suddenly you're going to disappear or post from the market. And yes, I wanted to appreciate Jeevan. So you've done many firsts in the region. Congratulations on that, Jeevan. And I hope sometime soon you win some award. And I hope that there is one pet this thing awards which happens, pet industry. If you've done
Yes.
something as a local thing, I hope you are going to get something. Or if there's a nomination thing, we should definitely look into that. And it's been such a pleasure talking to you. I've not even realized that we are 25 minutes into this conversation. And I think there's a lot of think people who are watching now or later, please do post comments on this so that we know. And if you want to connect with any of our guests here, you're welcome to do that. And do tag us also on that so we know that you connected. And before we say bye today for the day, is there anything else you wanted to share and you thought I would ask you, which I didn't? We'll start with Val. Was there something which you thought I was going to ask you?
Not especially, but I would like to say that as you know, I have a profession. I still have my main work, but having the opportunity to pursue my passion and to meet people, like-minded people, like here and like at the markets and through the other networks, has been absolutely amazing. And I think it's very important that everybody who wants to do something actually gives it a go, because it will grow and it will be very, very enjoyable and rewarding.
That's such a wonderful message. And yes, actually, it is a land of opportunities, and we are blessed, and we should definitely use that. Jeevan, what would you like to? Was there something you thought I should ask you, or something you want to share, which is before we say bye today?
No, I would say this is getting into the business of creating something by yourself may seem like a challenge, but trust me, every day when you wake up, there's already a plan which is in place for you. So just keep the faith, go ahead, and connect with people and learn from each other. And thank you for giving us this opportunity to actually meet each other. We, Snigdha and myself, are connected in the same way, just through networking.
Yes, and I have to thank the people, the networks that you belong to, because that's how I got your information and I was able to. So thanks to Eves for that. We shout out to her for that. And Snigdha, what would you like to say? Did you have something else to which you thought
There's
I might
one
ask?
thing, yes, there's one thing which I want to mention, that I'm working with corporates as well. So we are coming with a plan where you can gift a corporate something which will be a greener, cleaner, and sustainable for the next generation. So we are coming up with those gifting ideas. So if any company wants to fulfill their CSR requirements, we could be your go out person.
Wonderful. And with Ramadan right now happening, and then soon when Eid comes up, there'll be a lot of gifting. Folks who are watching this now or later, you have lots of opportunities here. Do join in into this of making the gifting business itself into something which is lucrative. And all the very best to all of you. Thank you so much for today.
Thank you.
Have a great Sunday. And yes, thank you especially for dedicating your Sunday to my session. Thank you and bye bye. Take care.
Thank you.
I'll say bye now from here. Bye bye. Bye.
Thank
Thank
you.
Thank you
you.
so much.
Goodbye.
Bye.